Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Syifa Soraya Zhafarina, and you can call me Syifa 2070100014. Today, I will explain about comparison and contrast essay. What is a compare and contrast essay? Compare and contrast essay is a type of essay that provides points of comparison between two subjects. True to its name, it shows how the subjects are similar in certain respects and different in others. The essay structure tends to feature body paragraphs that describe the two subjects before bringing it all together with a final analysis. What is the purpose of a compare and contrast essay? Compare and contrast essay writing allows you to just juxtapose two subjects in the same paper. This means that thesis statements, topic sentences, and descriptive details must cover both subjects. Compare and contrast papers also require critical thinking. To write one, you must go beyond simple descriptive writing to analyze and explain the relationship between your subjects. A good comparison essay can provide information about current events, political candidates, travel destinations, or products. How to write a compare and contrast essay? Like any good essay, compare and contrast paper must contain a clear organizational structure that gives your most important points their own body paragraphs. 1. Begin by brainstorming with a Venn diagram. The best compare and contrast essays demonstrate a high level of analysis. This means you will need to brainstorm before you begin writing. A Venn diagram is a great visual tool for brainstorming compare and contrast essay topics. A Venn diagram is a set of overlapping circles. One circle shows the characteristics of the first subject, and another circle shows the characteristics of the second subject. An overlapping section between the circles contains characteristics shared by both subjects. To develop a thesis statement, once you've mapped out the similarities and differences between your topics, you will begin to understand the relationship between your subjects. This previewing process will allow you to develop your thesis statement and your topic sentences. Your thesis statement should function as a roadmap for your essay. 3. Create an outline. After you have spent time with your data, your pre-writing process moves on to outlining. A good compare and contrast essay outline follows the standard essay format: introductory paragraph, body paragraph, conclusion. Remain faithful to your outline as you write. Great outlining distinguishes tight, focused essays from meandering ones. 4. Write the introduction. A good introductory paragraph sets the tone for your entire essay. Your thesis statement should come at the end of the introduction. 5. Write the first body paragraph. Begin with a topic sentence that explains one area of comparison between your first subject and your second subject. For example, if your subjects are two different countries and your paragraph topic is political structure, you can start by broadly describing each country's political processes. You can then devote at least two sentences to how the country's politics are similar and two sentences to how they are different. 6. Repeat the process for the next paragraphs. Comparative essays usually take their subjects through several points of comparison. Therefore, plan on writing at least 3 body paragraphs that tackle your two subjects from a variety of angles. Link your paragraphs with transition words. 7. Write the conclusion. A great compare and contrast essay needs a great conclusion. By this point, You will hopefully have proven your thesis about how your two subjects are both different and alike. Your concluding paragraph is your chance to share any final insights and to reinforce the thesis of your overall paper. Do not introduce brand new information in your concluding paragraph. Use it to summarize the entire paper. 8. Proofread. Your essay is not complete in com, your essay is not complete until you've done a careful proofread pass. Make sure each of your subjects gets equal space in the essay. Make sure you take a clear point of view in how the subjects are both similar and different. And of course, check for spelling, punctuation, and overall clarity. Want to learn about more about your writing? You can become a better writer with the masterclass annual membership. Can access exclusively video lessons taught by literary masters, including Joyce Carol Oates, Maggie Dan Brown, and more. A comparison and contrast essay explains the similarities and differences between two topics, ideas, people, or things. You can follow these steps when writing a comparison and contrast essay. 1. Have an introduction, relevant information about the two topics being compared and contrasted. 2. Include a thesis statement, purpose for comparing and contrasting. 3. Support your thesis throughout the essay. Examples and details related to the thesis statement. 4. Include all points of comparison and contrast. All points need to be discussed for each topic. 5. Add specific details and examples. Illustrate similarities and differences. 6. Have a conclusion. Summarize main ideas of the essay and include any final truths. Any one way. One way to organize a comparison contrast essay is to use point by point organization in which each point of comparison becomes the topic of a paragraph. 1. Introduction, in which you state your purpose, which is to discuss differences between vacationing in the mountains or at the beach. 2. First difference between mountains and beaches is climate. A. Mountains, B. Beach. 3. Second difference between mountains and beaches are types of activities. A. Mountains, B. Beach. 4. Third difference between mountains and beaches is the location. A. Mountains, B. Beach. 5. Conclusion. In block organization, you arrange similarities together in a block and all the differences together in a block. When you use this pattern, you can discuss either the similarities first. When you use this pattern, you can discuss either the similarities first or the differences first. You can write a transition paragraph or sentence between two. You can write a transition paragraph or sentence between the two blocks. 1. Introduction, in which you state your purpose, which is to discuss the differences between vacationing in the mountains or at the beach. 2. Mountain. A. Climate. B. Types of activities. C. Location. 3. Beach. A. Climate. B. 3. Beach. A. Climate. B. Types of activities. C. Location. 4. Conclusion. Comparison and contrast examples. Romance comparisons and contrast. Romance films or romance movies are romantic love stories recorded in visual media for broadcast in theaters. In theaters, romance films or romance movies are romantic love stories recorded in visual media for broadcast in theaters and on TV that focus that focus and that focus on passion, emotion, and the affectionate romantic involvement of the main characters, and the um, journey that their love takes them through dating, courtship, or marriage. Romance films make the romantic love story or the search for strong and pure love and romance the main plot focus. Occasionally, romance lovers face obstacles such as finances, physical illness, physical illness, various forms of discrimination, psychological restraints, or family that threaten to break their union of love. As in all quite strong, deep, and close romantic relationships, tensions of day-to-day life, temptations of infidelity, and differences, incompatibility, enter into the plots of romantic films. Tyrone Tyrone Power passionately embraces Alice Faye or Alice Faye Faye Alice Alice Faye Alice Faye Alice Faye Alice Faye in the 1980 1938 film Alexander's Ragtime Band. Romantic films often explore the essential themes of love at first sight. Young with older love, and unrequited romantic love, obsessive love, sentimental love, spiritual love, forbidden love, platonic love, sexual and passionate love, sacrificial love, explosive and destructive love, and tragic love. Romantic films serve as great escapes and fantasies for viewers, especially if the two people finally overcome their difficulties, declare their love, and experience life happily ever after, implied by a reunion and final kiss. Action film is a film genre. Action film is a film genre in which the protagonist or protagonists are thrust are thrust are thrust into a series of events that typically include violence, extended fighting, physical feats, rescues, and frantic chases. Action films tend to feature a mostly resourceful hero struggling against incredible odds, which include life-threatening situations, a dangerous villain, or a pursuit which usually concludes in victory for the hero, or a pursuit which usually concludes in victory for the hero. Comparison and contrast examples: romance and action movie. A movie is a work of art in the form of a series of live images that are played to produce an illusion of moving image that are presented as a form of entertainment. The illusion of a series of images produces a continuous motion in the form of a video. A movie is often called as a film or moving picture. Movie is a modern and popular art form. Movie is a modern and popular art form created for business and entertainment purposes. There are many popular film genres or genre, from action movies, horror movies, comedy movies, romantic movies, fantasy movies, thrillers movies, drama movies, science movies, fiction movies, documentaries, and many others. And I love watching films or movies in, in the theater or in the cinema. Different from my friend, I prefer action movies, while my friend Syifa prefers romance movies. There are several things that differ between action movies and romance movies. The first difference is movies with the action genre contain a lot of dynamic movements from actresses and actors. The scenes that are played are fights, teaching pursuits, wars, explosion, and so on. Whereas romance movies are a type of film that focuses on a particular love story or relationship. Generally, romance films are also sided by side with the drama genre or genre. The conflict that is shown is conflict about romance. This film is very suitable to be watched with a partner. The point is sometimes you need to watch a few romance movies to cry or laugh or think about your own relationship a bit for clarity. Whatever the reason you're having a jammy day, enjoy the time for yourself. Life is a big red race most days, and taking time to hang out in your jammies is something we should all do every now and then. Don't be afraid to have some Hallmark Channel me time. You never know, it may give you some perspective. And remember, happiness and home are within your heart, because if we don't have a me time, our life it can be so boring and can make us frustrated. And because we need to have peace and relax too. Because if our life is so boring and make us frustrated, it can be make us so useless and so empty. Because maybe if we have a peace and have relax, it can make us feel free, feel alive, feel love, and feel happy too. So it can make us very clever, very diligent, very smart, and very healthy too. And make so it can make us very clever, very diligent, very smart, and very healthy too. And make us very comfortable or to communicate or to interact to the people too. So we can feel free to live, no worries, and make us feel excited to live in this world. Because of that, different from my friend, I prefer romantic movies, while my friend Inka prefers action movies. I choose that because I like the happy ending story in romantic movie or romance. The romantic movie can make me feel sad, confused, and happy, and sometimes can make me feel falling in love with the characters and the actors. And sometimes in the romantic movies there are a comedy in the scenes. And I don't like action movies because sometimes it can be make me scared with a lot of blood, shoots with a gun or a sniper, and make me feel stressed and my tense up and my heart pounding in my ears. And because for me it's good for me and for my boyfriend relationship, because I can make my relationship feel better and feel happy every day. Forever relationship romantic movie, it can be make me feel easy to find a true love and a pure love, maybe until me and the other people find true love and pure love till married and until have a complete family and have a happily ever after. And I can share my story too through the books or through my poems, essay, or the other writing, because I love to share it. I love to share my experience, even though we like different types of movies, but we can enjoy the movies in action movies or romantic movies, and we can watching movies together in the cinema. The most important thing is we spend our friendship time together in a happy time, like watching movies, eating, sharing, laughing, and we hope in the sad time, and we hope in the sad times we can take care of each others. And for me, I love for fairy tale story like Cinderella, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel, The Little Mermaid, etc., or etc. Because for me, I want to have a romantic story and life happily ever after, like in the romance movie or romantic movie. But for income, my friend, the important thing is love too. But I think she is love action movies because the char- but I think she is love action movies because the character and the actors more handsome and more famous. But for Inka, her relationship is very perfect, very beautiful, very romantic, and very like is near to the happily ever after. But my relationship is very messed up and make me feel stressed, feeling very sad every day, feeling very angry too every day. Because No one else can predict the future and no one else can predict jealousy. Or maybe me and my boyfriend relationship is messed up because of third person and there's something troubles between us. My boyfriend is afraid of commitment every time and in everywhere. He is not one to show himself in front of the peoples or in front of peoples. And he is very shy and introvert person. He is very funny, I think sometimes, but very quiet person too. And I hope my romantic relationship is can change faster in the future, so I can be like Inka and her boyfriend. That is very make me jealous. So I can be like Inka and her boyfriend. That is very make me jealous. But it is very inspire me, or I can say that I am wants to be like like her relationship. I want my I want my relationship is okay and he not jealous with me again. Now I know he must be very brave and self-assured or confident in front of the people. So that's all for today. That's all for this topic or this material. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.